Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to like light up a room?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not always about looks, is it?
Yeah.
There's this like energy, this magnetism that draws you in.
Right. Yeah.
So we're going to take a deep dive into that today. Like what makes someone magnetic, how it works, and most importantly, how you can cultivate it yourself.
hmm
So I'm really excited about this one.
It's a fascinating topic, like this idea that we can impact others with our energy.
Yeah.
And the best part, it's not like some mystical secret, right? There's real science behind it. We can actually use psychology and even neuroscience to boost our magnetic energy.
Okay, I'm intrigued. But first, like let's define what we're even talking about.
Yeah.
When we say magnetic energy, what exactly does that mean?
Well, think about, a time you met someone who just had this undeniable presence.
Hmm.
And it wasn't just that they were like attractive or successful, though those things, can play a role, but it's deeper than that.
Right.
They just like radiated this kind of authenticity and self-assuredness that just made you want to be around them.
Yeah.
And that's magnetic energy in a nutshell.
So it's like this inner confidence that shines outward and affects everyone around them.
Exactly. And there's actually a really fascinating neurological explanation for this, for why we're drawn to this kind of energy. Have you ever heard of mirror neurons?
I've heard the term, but honestly, I'm a little fuzzy on the details.
Okay, well, they're these specialized cells in our brains that fire both when we perform an action and when we observe someone else performing that action.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So researchers like Dr. Giacomo Rizzolatti, who first discovered mirror neurons, believe that they play like a key role in empathy and social connection.
Mm.
They essentially allow us to kind of mirror the emotions and behaviors of others,
Wow.
helping us understand and connect with them on a deeper level.
So are you saying that, like, when we encounter someone with strong, positive energy, our mirror neurons fire, making us feel those positive emotions too?
That's the idea. Yeah. So it's almost like our brains are wired to sync up with those who project confidence and positivity.
Right.
So, when you walk into a room feeling, confident and self-assured, you're not just impacting your own mood, you're actually influencing the energy of the entire room.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
a game changer.
Yeah.
Suddenly those self-help gurus talking about, the power of positive thinking
Right.
don't seem so far-fetched after all.
Right.
But let's be honest, confidence isn't something that everyone is like born with, right?
Right.
How can we actually cultivate that kind of magnetic energy if it doesn't come naturally?
That's a great question. And that's where things get really exciting.
Okay.
Because it turns out there are like specific actionable steps we can take to boost our magnetic energy. It's like building a muscle. The more you work on these areas, the stronger your magnetic presence becomes.
Okay, let's hear it. What are the key ingredients in this magnetic energy recipe?
So I think there are 3 core elements that form the foundation of magnetic energy. The first, and perhaps the most crucial, is genuine confidence,
Okay.
but not the arrogant kind.
Right, so how do we like distinguish between genuine confidence and arrogance?
Yeah, it's all about intention. True confidence comes from a place of like self-acceptance,
Mm-hmm.
knowing your worth regardless of external validation.
Right.
Arrogance, on the other hand, is often like a mask for insecurity, right? It's a way of seeking validation from others.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we cultivate that authentic inner confidence that is so magnetic?
Yeah, so there are several practical techniques, and they might seem surprisingly simple.
Okay.
But one of the most powerful tools is daily affirmations.
Affirmations, like standing in the mirror and telling myself, I'm amazing.
Yeah,
I've tried that before, and it felt a little cheesy, to be honest.
I hear you. It can feel awkward at first, but there's like real science behind it. When you repeatedly affirm like positive statements about yourself, you're essentially reprogramming your subconscious mind. It's like creating, a new mental blueprint for how you see yourself.
So it's about changing our internal dialogue, the way we talk to ourselves.
Exactly. And another surprisingly effective technique is focusing on your posture.
Wait, really? You're saying how I stand can impact my confidence?
Absolutely. Research has shown that adopting a more expansive posture,
Okay.
standing tall with your shoulders back and your head held high, can actually decrease stress hormones like cortisol and increase testosterone, which is associated with confidence.
Interesting. So it's about, like, sending signals to our brain through our body language.
You got it.
Yes.
And speaking of signals, one of the biggest confidence killers is constantly apologizing for yourself.
Oh, I am so guilty of that. I feel like I say sorry for everything.
I understand it's a common habit, especially for women, but think
Mm.
about, like, what message are you sending when you constantly apologize?
Hmm.
You're essentially, diminishing your presence, making yourself smaller.
That's a great point. It's like we're unconsciously undermining our own authority.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So challenge yourself to become more aware of your, like, apology habits. Before you say sorry, ask yourself if it's truly warranted.
Okay. I'm definitely adding that to my to-do list.
Yeah.
So we've got affirmations, posture, and ditching unnecessary apologies.
Hmm.
What's the next element in this magnetic energy trifecta?
Authenticity. You can't be truly magnetic if you're trying to be someone you're not. People are drawn to genuineness,
Hmm.
to those who are, like, comfortable in their own skin.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's about embracing our true selves, quirks and all.
It's about shedding the masks that we often wear to please others
Right.
and allowing our authentic selves to shine through.
And it just makes sense that people would be attracted to that kind of energy.
Yeah.
You know, it's refreshing to be around someone who's not putting on a show.
Exactly. And a big part of authenticity is speaking your truth. Not in a, like, harsh or confrontational way,
Right.
but in a way that honors your feelings and beliefs.
So it's about being honest with ourselves and others.
Exactly. And that includes setting boundaries and saying no when something doesn't align with your, like, values or needs.
Hmm.
It's about ditching the people-pleasing that often leaves us feeling, drained and resentful.
This is resonating with me on so many levels. It's like you're giving me permission to finally let go of the need to be everything to everyone.
It's not selfish to prioritize your own, well-being and authenticity. In fact, it's essential for cultivating true magnetism. When you feel good about yourself, it radiates outward.
So self-love is a key ingredient in this magnetic energy mix.
Absolutely. Self-care practices are crucial.
Hmm?
This could be anything, right, that nourishes your mind, body, and spirit. Whether it's taking a long bath or spending time in nature or reading a good book or simply giving yourself permission to rest and recharge.
This is so important. We can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. So we have confidence rooted in self-acceptance, authenticity that embraces our true selves, and now we move to the final piece of the puzzle.
I'm on the edge of my seat. What's the third element?
Positive.
Mm-hmm.
Charismatic energy. It's the ability to light up a room with your presence,
Mm-hmm.
to inspire and uplift those around you.
Positive and charismatic energy.
Okay,
It sounds amazing, but also kind of intangible.
right?
Can we break that down a little? What does that even look like in practice?
It's definitely more than just putting on a happy face, right?
Right.
It's about cultivating, like, a genuine sense of optimism
Mm-hmm.
and enthusiasm that draws people in. Think about someone who just, like, lights up a room, right?
Mm-hmm.
What qualities do they possess?
I'm picturing someone who's like genuinely interested in others, who listens attentively and makes you feel seen and heard.
Exactly. And they probably have a way of, like, seeing the positive in situations even when things get tough.
Yeah.
It's not about, like, denying the challenges,
Right.
but rather about approaching them with a sense of hope and possibility.
So it's like shifting our perspective
Mhm.
or mindset.
Precisely. And one powerful way to do that is to cultivate an abundance mindset. This means, focusing on what you have,
Right.
what you're grateful for, rather than dwelling on what you lack.
That makes sense. It's easy to get caught up in that scarcity mentality,
Right.
especially in today's world where we're like constantly bombarded with messages about what we're missing.
It's a conscious choice to shift our focus. And it's not just about, like, thinking positive thoughts. It's about taking action. So what are some things that you do that bring you joy, that make you feel, like, energized and alive?
Well, I love spending time in nature, connecting with friends and family, and getting lost in a good book.
Those are all wonderful examples.
Yeah.
And the more you prioritize those activities, the more you'll cultivate that, positive energy that
Yeah.
naturally attracts others.
Okay. I'm starting to see how all of these elements kind of work together, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's get practical. What are some like tangible habits that we can implement to boost our magnetic energy in daily life?
Great question. It's all about making small, consistent changes
Right.
that add up over time. So let's start with your morning routine.
Okay.
How you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows.
Honestly, my mornings are usually a chaotic scramble to get out the door.
Right.
I'm not exactly what you would call a morning person.
I hear you. You don't have to become like a Zen master at dawn to reap the benefits. Even just 5 minutes of, intentional practice can make a difference.
Mm,
One of the simplest yet most powerful things you can do is to start with a gratitude journal.
okay. I've heard about gratitude journaling. I'll admit I've been a little skeptical.
Hmm.
How does simply writing down things you're grateful for, like, actually shift your energy?
Well, think about it this way. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you're essentially like training your brain
Right.
to look for the positive in your life.
Hmm.
It's like putting on like a pair of rose-colored glasses
Okay.
that help you see the good in everything.
Okay. Interesting analogy. So instead of dwelling on what's going wrong, I'm like intentionally directing my attention to what's going right.
Exactly. And as you consistently practice gratitude, you'll find that like your overall mood and outlook start to shift. It's like you're building up, a reserve of positive energy that you can tap into throughout the day.
Okay. I'm willing to give it a try.
Yeah.
What else can I incorporate into my morning routine to boost my magnetic energy?
Another powerful practice is visualization. Take a few minutes to just imagine yourself moving through your day with confidence and ease. Visualize yourself interacting with others in a, positive, charismatic way, achieving your goals, and just feeling good in your own skin.
Wait, so you're suggesting I sit there and like daydream about how awesome I am?
Yeah.
I'm not sure my ego needs that kind of a boost.
It's not about ego. It's about intentionally creating like the energy you want to experience.
Right.
It's about harnessing the power of your mind to shape your reality.
Okay, I'm getting it. It's like setting an intention for the day, but like with more vivid imagery.
Exactly. And if you want to take it a step further, try incorporating some movement into your morning routine.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be like a full-blown workout.
Yeah.
Like, even a few minutes of stretching or yoga or simply dancing to your favorite song
Yeah.
can get your energy flowing and set you up for, a more positive day.
I love that. I can definitely fit in a quick dance party before work. So we've covered the morning routine. What about once we're out in the world, like interacting with people? Any tips for like boosting our charisma in social situations?
Absolutely. Pay attention to your body language. It speaks volumes before you even open your mouth.
So no more like slouching over my phone, avoiding eye contact.
Try to be mindful of those habits. Instead, focus on, open, expansive postures. Stand tall. Relax your shoulders and make eye contact with the people that you're talking to.
Okay. So shoulders back, chin up, and eyes on the prize, or in this case, the person I'm talking to. What else?
Smiling is a simple yet powerful way to increase your, attractiveness and approachability.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Paul Ekman, a pioneer in the study of facial expressions, found that like genuine smiles
Yeah.
activate the like reward centers in the brain,
Interesting.
making us more appealing to others.
I'm all about spreading those good vibes,
Right.
but I also don't want to like force a fake smile if I'm not genuinely feeling it.
That's a great point. Authenticity is key. A forced smile can actually have the opposite effect.
Right.
Make you appear insincere. The key is to cultivate that inner positivity and let it radiate outwards.
Got it. So open body language, genuine smiles, anything else I should keep in mind, like when I'm interacting with people?
One of the simplest but most overlooked things you can do is remember people's names.
Oh, that's my biggest weakness. I'm terrible with names. It's like they go in one ear and right out the other.
I understand.
Yeah.
But it's a skill you can develop with practice. Try repeating the person's name back to them when you first meet, and then use it a couple of times in conversation.
Oh, okay.
It might feel awkward at first, but it will help cement it in your memory.
Okay, good tip.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a conscious effort to do that from now on.
Yeah. And along with remembering names, ask engaging questions.
Okay.
Show genuine interest in the other person. People love to talk about themselves, so give them the opportunity to shine.
That's a good reminder. Sometimes I get so caught up in like my own head
Yeah.
that I forget to just like be present and truly listen to what others are saying.
It happens to all of us, but the more you practice, active listening,
Right.
the stronger your connections with others will become.
Okay, so we've got body language, smiles, remembering names, asking questions. Any other like social hacks for boosting our charisma?
This one might seem counterintuitive, but master the power of the pause.
Okay.
Don't feel the need to fill every silence with chatter.
Wait, really? I feel like I'm always scrambling to like fill those awkward gaps in conversation.
It's a common tendency, but Try resisting the urge to like rush in
Mm-hmm.
and fill the space. Instead, embrace the silence. It gives you time to, gather your thoughts
Right.
and speak with more intention. And it also allows the other person to process what you've said and formulate, a response.
I never thought of it that way. It's like we're giving ourselves and the other person space to breathe.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that space can create like a sense of calm and connection
Mm-hmm.
that makes you more magnetic. It shows that you're not like desperate to impress or, dominate the conversation.
This is making me rethink my whole approach to like social
Right.
interactions. I'm gonna need some serious practice to implement all these tips.
It's a journey, not a destination. And the more you practice, the more natural and effortless it will become.
So we've covered morning routines and social interactions. Is there anything else we can do to cultivate that magnetic energy?
This one might seem a little counterintuitive, but it's incredibly important. Energy detox.
Energy detox.
Yeah.
I've heard of like juice cleanses,
Mhm.
but what exactly does an energy detox entail?
It's about being mindful of the energy you allow into your life. Limit your exposure to negativity.
Hmm.
That could mean, unsubscribing from social media accounts that make you feel bad about yourself, setting boundaries with people who drain your energy, or simply being more, selective about the information that you consume.
Oh, it's about protecting our like mental and emotional space,
Yeah.
just like we protect our physical space.
Exactly. You can't radiate positive magnetic energy if you're constantly bombarded with negativity. It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket. Right. You have to plug the leaks before you can start filling it up.
That makes so much sense.
Oh.
I've definitely noticed that. Like when I spend too much time on social media or watching the news, like I feel my energy plummet.
It's important to be aware of those triggers, right?
Right.
And take steps to minimize their impact. And part of that energy detox involves prioritizing self-care.
Mhm.
Make time for activities that nourish your mind, body, and spirit.
I'm a firm believer in the power of self-care. It's not selfish. It's essential for our well-being.
It's like putting on your own oxygen mask
Right.
before assisting others. You can't be truly magnetic if you're running on empty.
So true. I'm already feeling more energized just thinking about all these like positive changes.
That's the power of awareness. And remember, you don't have to do everything perfectly. Just pick one or two things
Right.
that resonate with you
Yeah,
and start implementing them into your daily life.
I love that. It's about progress, not perfection. Small steps lead to big changes.
All right. Absolutely. And as you start to make these shifts, you'll notice like a ripple effect in all areas of your life.
Yes.
Your relationships will improve, your confidence will soar, and you'll attract more opportunities your way.
This is so empowering. It's like we have the power to create our own reality
Yeah.
simply by like shifting our energy. It's incredible to think that we have this power
Yeah.
within us.
Yeah.
So as we're going to wrap up this deep dive into magnetic energy, what's the most important takeaway you want like listeners to remember?
I think the key is that becoming magnetic isn't about like trying to be someone you're not, right? It's about uncovering the most, confident, authentic, and radiant version of yourself.
Right.
It's about recognizing that you already possess, this incredible energy within you.
Mm-hmm.
And these practices simply help you like tap into it and let it shine through.
I love that. It's not about acquiring something new. It's about unleashing something that's already there. It's about embracing our true selves and letting that inner magnetism radiate outwards.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's important to remember that, it's a journey, not a destination. There's no finish line when it comes to like personal growth. It's
Yeah.
about continually, evolving, learning, and becoming the best version of ourselves.
That's so freeing. It takes the pressure off of trying to be perfect
Yeah.
and allows us to just embrace the process of becoming. So for those listening who are, feeling inspired to boost their own magnetic energy, where do they even begin?
Start by identifying which of these elements like resonates with you the most. Is it building your confidence, embracing your authenticity, cultivating a positive mindset, or perhaps, prioritizing energy detox and self-care? Choose one area to focus on and experiment with some of the practical tips we've discussed today.
That's great advice. It's about taking small, manageable steps
Yeah.
rather than trying to, overhaul our entire lives overnight.
Exactly. And remember to be patient with yourself. It takes time and consistency to develop these habits and see lasting changes.
This has been such an insightful conversation. I feel like I have a whole new perspective on the power of energy and the impact that we can have on others simply by, showing up as our most authentic selves.
It's been a pleasure diving into this topic with you. And for those listening, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What resonated with you the most from our conversation? What small change will you experiment with to see the magnetism in action? Remember, even like subtle shifts in these areas can start to influence your interactions, your relationships, and your overall sense of self.
Mm.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's a final thought-provoking question for you to ponder. Think about a time when you felt truly confident and radiant.
Mhm.
What was different about your energy in that moment? How did others respond to you? By tapping into those feelings and embodying those qualities, you can start to unlock your own magnetic potential and create a ripple effect of positivity in the world.
Until next time, keep shining bright.